Hi and welcome back to Bride Society. Now if you don't know, I have a wedding cake business on the side and so today we thought we'd talk through some of the trends we can see upcoming for wedding cakes for 2019, things that are brand new and things that have been popular this year but are carrying on through next year as well.
So in terms of the ones that we think are kind of been popular but are showing no signs of going anywhere to start off with is the like semi-naked cakes, buttercream cakes. So maybe not so much the fully naked cakes, they're not gone, but
no. Maybe semi-naked are kind of slowly overtaking these fully naked
the ones that are that vein, but just slightly more. I like to think I started this trend like 4 years ago when I had my buttercream cake, but you know. But yeah, so just that kind of like partly covered ones. But yeah, I think it's just that, you know, people, like we were saying earlier, that maybe don't think that they have to stick to such like traditional way of doing things anymore. Like they've realised that they can do what they want and do their own thing, and
the amount of couples that come to me and say we don't like icing, whereas before I think in the past you feel as though you have to have icing on like the roll-out icing on a cake, but I think people are slowly starting to realise there's loads of different options. You can have what you want for your wedding, which is how it should be. So that they can do away with the roll-out icing and have something a bit different.
Yeah, which breaks my heart because I love roll-out icing, marzipan. Like you lose the marzipan then most of the time, so I'm not down with that, even though I did it myself.
Yeah, but you had marzipan under buttercream.
That's true. It's just well, there you go, anything you want.
Yeah,
just on one way.
And the good thing about these cakes is you might think, oh, there's not a lot you can do with kind of just putting buttercream on a cake or having just like a smear around the edge, but there's so many different ways to personalise them. I've done quite a few of these now, and each one looks completely different just by different flowers.
Textures.
Textures of buttercream, the different flowers you put on, if you have any different fruit you can add to it. You can really personalise it and make it kind of coordinate with the rest of the wedding.
Yeah, like still make it like, because they probably quite easily lend themselves to like more rustic kind of barn weddings that have become more popular as well, which is maybe why these have become more popular. But I think you can make those kind of cakes look quite rustic, or you can still make them quite classic, because I think ours was still quite classic. I think like it was much more like crisper kind of flowers on ours that kind of spiraled around it, so I think that kind of made it that more chic end.
Yeah, the flowers,
whereas the more sort of wildflower, like more relaxed vibe on them would push it the other way, like you were saying.
Definitely.
So yeah, so many options. So yeah.
Okay, so trend number 2 that we've spotted is for separate tiers. So you don't have one kind of tiered wedding cake, you have kind of a selection of separate tiers, either like 1 tier or 2 tiers, so you create kind of a cake table. And I think that one of the main reasons why this is going to become even popular next year is the Harry and Meghan effect. So you might remember
I like that, the Harry and Meghan and Harry effect.
Well, you know when Meghan or Kate Middleton wears something and then it sells out immediately? So for their wedding earlier in the year, they had separate tiers for their wedding cake. And I think this is something, I've already started seeing it, and I think I'll see it more next year. And it also means you can create more of like a cake table rather than, I mean, you might just want that one focal point in the room, but other people, you can have kind of a selection of cakes. It's like bigger area of cake.
I'm all for a big area of cake. That's up there on weddings for me.
And again, you can either keep them all the same and maybe just like have 3 separate single tiers, or like a wedding I did recently, they had 3 coordinating cakes. One was a 2-tier cake, which was kind of their main cutting wedding cake, and then they had 2 separate but different heights, so it kind of varied in heights of the tiers. They all coordinated with the same flowers, but each one had something a bit different. So one had like a caramel drip on, one had some kind of colour in to coordinate with the rest of the colour scheme, and then the other one just had the buttercream and the flowers on the top. So again, there's loads of things you can do, and you can make them more rustic, and again you can make them more traditional. So
and I suppose this brings us on to the next one trend that we have, is this like mixing help me out,
mix and match.
Thank you. Of shapes in cake. So again, a bit of royal wedding effect from the more recent royal wedding, where the bottom tier was hexagonal. I didn't actually count the number of sides.
No, I didn't.
We'll say hexagonal with a proviso that it maybe wasn't, but a much more angular like base layer. But yeah, so again, mixed up with maybe the more traditional round cakes and that kind of thing. But yeah, so just that, like, again, that variation, moving away from the traditional, like, where you maybe didn't even give it a second thought about what your cake would kind of look like in shape. It's now anything goes.
Yeah, I think geometric shapes are becoming a lot more popular just as a trend in itself in various like homeware.
That's true.
Which also then, I think, things filter down into kind of wedding styling and things like that. And because people are making more of a kind of styling job at their weddings, they're kind of making the cake part of that design, whereas before it could have been quite separate, and that also feeds through to everything else. So yeah, so I'm seeing a lot more of these kind of geometric shapes, mixing and matching the different shapes of the tiers, so I think we'll see a lot more of that next year as well. Something that's been popular already, and again something that's not going anywhere, are the drip cakes. So cakes that either have like a chocolate ganache or chocolate or caramel kind of drip down the side, either in kind of a precise way or in a more free-flowing kind of it lands where it lands kind of way. And I think this, it's not going anywhere. I think a lot more metallics are being brought in to cakes at the moment, so kind of either painting with like gold or silver or any like rose gold edible paints.
Rose gold's been big recently.
And also I think slightly moving on from the kind of traditional drip cake is, which maybe like a round cake with you drip down like tiers, again different shapes. So rectangular cakes I've seen coming through with the drip on, so it's just something a bit different. So it's taking what's already out there and then just taking it forward that little bit more and doing something a bit different with it.
And again, in terms of doing something a bit different with it, it's like the flavours of the cake as well. So obviously, like traditionally it would be fruit cake, which again gets my vote. I always look forward to a wedding or Christmas for the fruit cake. Again, it's because I get the marzipan, but that aside, assuming that I'm not coming to your wedding and therefore won't be disappointed, but or your grandma, but if you don't like fruit cake, you don't have to have fruit cake. Like you can have the different tiers if you're still having tiers. As we're saying, we might not be having tiers, but if you're having tiers, like different ones can be different flavours. You don't have to have it all the same. So you might have the groom's favourite, the bride's favourite, and one you think that everybody else will really like. Or, there's lots of different things, and some really like unusual ones. Although like the most popular ones that you were saying are probably so like chocolate, lemon,
vanilla,
that
crowd pleaser one.
Yeah, sort of fail safe. Yeah. And maybe it's good to have like one of those in amongst it to be safe, maybe the bigger one. But then there's more unusual ones that you're saying you've been doing like rhubarb and custard, or grey sticky toffee. I mean, how genius is that for a start? And then there's like alcoholic ones too, like because you've done some of those, haven't you?
Incorporating prosecco. I mean, prosecco is there for a celebration, and what's a bigger celebration than your wedding? So why not have it as part of the cake? Obviously, be wary if there's children who are going to be eating the cake, especially something like that if you incorporate it into the kind of frosting or buttercream, so it's not going to burn off the apple.
I was going to say, I guess it would bake off a lot of it in the cooking, but
so some cake might be for adults only, but if that's not a problem, just
although you can, I've noticed like in Sainsbury's place you can get, when you get the food flavouring and colourings, you can get like rum flavouring, and there was Prosecco one I saw, so you should check out that aisle as well, just when you do it, because as well that way you don't have to worry about the kids then as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Except for giving them a taste for it later life.
So I mean the moral, well, if there is a moral, the take-home message from this is really, it's your wedding, you can have what you want, look at different ideas and trends, but kind of do what you want at the end of the day. So we'd love to hear what you're choosing for your wedding cake. Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video and like to see more, give us a like, and don't forget to subscribe.
And if you need someone to make your wedding cake, if you're in the Midlands area.
So we'll see you next time.